organization. Why are they paying for salmon? The Justice Department gets $320 million to fund expert witnesses, which is $100 million more dollars than the entire Department of Justice's payroll. $720 million for the Office on Violence Against Women. And here I am thinking the Justice Department should be against violence against anybody, but apparently the women get a special treatment on this one in their own department. It's just, NASA was great too. They just said $935 million for aeronautics R&D. This is like a giant slush fund. Just call it something fancy because most people don't speak rocket, and then just slap it under development. That's like the $12 million pen that can write in space. That's where that came from. Every other country just used pencils. This is also the same fund that gave us the shrimp running on treadmills back in the 2000s, and pizzas with a multi-million-dollar chemistry set in space. Here's a thought. Fix the roads that you tax me to build so I don't break a rim on the car that you tax me to drive, that I paid for with the income you already taxed, that I park at my house that you also tax me on, instead of dishing it out to people who milk the government and send it back to Al-Shabaab. North Carolina Senate Republican candidate Michael Whatley, sir, running for this stuff and then doing it. Two different things clearly, but I'm looking at people who ran on fiscal conservatism and then passed that budget.
Yeah, one of the biggest threats to America right now is our national debt. It is the deficit. The fact that we are actually paying more every year to service our deficit than we are on national security. It's an economic threat. It's a national security threat, and we have got to get our fiscal house in order.
No, 100%. I mean, like, you were the RNC chair. You had to deal with this from both sides, and I'm like, I can't imagine the flack that is going on there. Senator Rand Paul, though, is introducing a bill called the End Welfare for Non-Citizens Act, and I'm like, why the hell this even needs to be a bill is, I guess, so 2026. But it ensures that taxpayer-funded benefits are reserved for only Americans and ends federal funding for programs like general welfare, Medicaid, SNAP for illegals, and refugee asylees, and all these other... Look, this is a great idea, but how did we get to a place where we needed this?
Look, the fact is that we need major reforms. There's no question about it. And what we saw with the One Big Beautiful Bill and the rescission bill that went through earlier this year, very important steps. They're not enough. We've got to do more. We need to use that reconciliation process to make true reforms that are going to make sure that we get our financial house in order. When you look at what Elon Musk brought to this administration out of the gate with Doge, absolutely critical for not just what they found, but the process by which they found it, and ending USAID and really truly going at the fraud that was pervasive throughout the government. We need to do more. We need to get that process back up and running and very aggressively. And clearly, as we see in Minnesota right now, we need to have state level Doge where we're looking at what are the federal funds that are going out to these states being spent for, and make sure that they're not going out in suitcases through the Minneapolis airport.
Well, exactly. And you want to see how much immigrants contribute to an economy. We don't have time to look country to country, but let's look at the regions here, like Northeast Africa, which just so happens to be where Somalia is. And they're the least productive regional group of immigrants to Western countries. So it's like, yeah, look, here we go. Western, this is in euros because it was a European study, but Western immigrants from like Americas and things like that, a net add to the economies, but non-Westerners, specifically areas in red that we just showed you on that map, negative 167,000 euros.
Yeah, and Joe Biden let 15 million plus illegal immigrants into this country, and the Democrats right now are fighting harder to keep them here than they are to protect their American citizens. My opponent, Roy Cooper, vetoed 2 different bills telling sheriffs that they have to honor ICE detainers and get criminal illegal aliens out of our country. And what we see right now on the streets of Minnesota are a perfect example. Why are these people fighting so hard to keep violent criminals, rapists, pedophiles, murderers in the United States, in Minnesota? Why did Roy Cooper veto legislation and try to keep violent criminals in North Carolina? You have to ask those basic questions. Ultimately, the number one function of any government, whether it's federal government, state government, or local government, has to be protecting our citizens, and that starts with getting the criminals off of the streets in our communities.
You're absolutely right. Michael Whatley, good luck, sir. We'll have you on again.
Thanks, Carl.
All right, coming up, can the left ever keep their story straight? You never know what they're going to defend 1 second and then turn on the next, especially when it has to do with Trump. And all that and more in our Culture Flash coming up.
We are the people who get Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a peaceful warrior for justice and equality. From the Montgomery bus boycott to the March on Washington, his dream changed our nation forever. Watch Martin Luther King Jr. Enough is enough.
Every day across the globe, big business agendas go unseen by investors. Things that go against your core values and beliefs. It's time to know your investments. Abortion, alternative lifestyles, gender and identity confusion. If you believe in protecting marriage and life, children, innocence, guarding masculinity, restoring families, defending religious liberty, invest with your values. Before investing, carefully consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the investment company. This and other important information can be found in the fund's prospectus. To obtain a copy, visit timothyplan.com or call 800-846-7526. Read each prospectus carefully before investing. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
You woke up with a sore throat and a low-grade fever. You know you are getting sick, so here's your choices. You can get sicker and miss work. Try to see a doctor this week or sit hours in a crowded waiting room at urgent care.
I have a smarter option for you. Open your medical emergency kit. Match your symptoms to doctor-recommended prescription in your booklet and take the right meds now and get well faster.
This is not a first aid kit. It's like having an urgent care in your home. It includes doctor-prescribed medications to treat over 39 medical issues like respiratory infections, strep throat, pneumonia, UTIs, and more.
No waiting to see the doctor and no standing in line at the pharmacy. It's right here.
Every home should have at least one medical emergency kit, and here's how to order.
Order online and save $45. Your kit to treat dozens of common and serious illnesses is rushed to your door. Visit urgentcarekit.com/news, promo code NEWS. That's urgentcarekit.com/news, promo code NEWS.
Hello, I'm Franklin Graham. As we approach this new year, we see a lot of difficulty out there. The violence on the street, the upheaval, and it's not just here, but it's around the world, and it seems like everything's getting ready to implode. Well, I can tell you right now, our world needs peace, and we need God's peace. And God's peace comes through faith in His Son, Jesus Christ. That's right, Jesus Christ. He came from heaven to this earth to take our sins. He died and shed His blood on a cross for our sins. He was buried. On the third day, God raised Him to life. If you've never trusted Him as your Savior, you can do that right now. Just pray this prayer with me. Just say, God, I'm a sinner. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I believe that Jesus Christ is your Son. I'd like to trust Him as my Savior right now, and I want to follow Him as my Lord forever. Amen. If you prayed that prayer, call that number right now that's on the screen. We have some folks that would like to speak with you, pray with you, but call that number on the screen. God bless you.
This isn't your average pill. This is Rose Sparks. Rose Sparks. Rose Sparks. Rose Sparks.
Rose Sparks is a fast-acting solution because it dissolves under your tongue.
Rose Sparks.
Guys, get started today.
Connect with a provider to find out if Rose Sparks are right for you.
It's funny how the libs are all freaking out about Trump. He made a joke over canceling the midterm elections. However, I recall a time in 2014, to be exact, where the New York Times wrote an op-ed to call for the exact same thing under Obama, to institute his agenda. Look, here's the headline: just cancel the midterms. I mean, isn't that the same thing that President Trump, and Trump was joking about it. He always does this, and you media people fall for it every time. The article also said, but the 2-year cycle isn't just unnecessary, it's harmful to American politics. Flip-flop. One for double standards. Libs wouldn't have any at all. Host of Nightly Scroll with Haley Corona and independent journalist Evita Duffy Alfonso. Haley, great to have you on finally here. This, is like really, really basic, stupid stuff that the libs don't have to fall into this trap every time.
Yeah, they catastrophize everything that President Trump says. And if they actually listened to what he was saying, they wouldn't be so confused and they wouldn't be so anxious, I think. Even hours ago, President Trump today said that he's not thinking of invoking the Insurrection Act. So if they just listened to President Trump, they wouldn't be so confused, but they're never going to do that. It's rules for thee, not for me. If the Democrats want it, it's good. If the Republicans want it, it's bad. That's the name of the game for them.
Haley, Orange Man bad. They can never listen to him. You know that. Evita, this just proves, though, how two-sided the libs really are. This is anti-Trump, 44-year-old professor from Edmonds College, Houston Curry Wade, who would repeatedly, you're seeing the tweets right here, attack Trump and others on social media, calling them pedophiles. Well, would you look at this? He is facing charges for communicating inappropriately with an 11-year-old girl and allegedly traveled to meet her for sex. Are you kidding me?
I'm not surprised in the slightest, because what do Democrats call pedophiles in the first place? They call them minor attracted persons.
Oh, my
they
bad.
even call them pedophiles. And this is what they do from a very young age. They always sexualize children by saying kids as young as 1 or 2 years old can decide whether they're born in the wrong body. Then they castrate them, chemically castrate them, mutilate their bodies. This is a movement that is driven by pedophilia. So I'm not surprised at all. And of course, it is wildly hypocritical.
Yeah, exactly. But this is like the same. I think there was a CNN producer who had the same issue a while back. Here's another one, Haley. The libs is striking out today. You know how like animals in the wild, they have bright colors because you're not supposed to touch them because they'll do damage? Well, according to this study, dyeing your hair blue is a sign of depression, and it happens to be a signal of, quote, high in mental instability in people who do it. It creates a, quote, relationship between borderline personality disorder and extreme, though changeable expressions of identity. I mean, who could have possibly seen that coming?
Well, this works for us because they stand out like a sore thumb. If you see one coming, walking down the streets of New York City, you can just go the other way. This is what they call the septum piercing theory. If a woman has a septum piercing, it's like you can run away from them. It's like they're a bull, and you know that what their political leanings are before you even talk to them, before they even open their mouth. You don't even have to listen to them.
Yeah, no, it's crazy to me. Avita, across the Atlantic for a sec, all right? I saw this and I was like, wow, this would be phenomenal if we could do this in America. But the country of Wales, which I never give props to for basically anything, working to put a lying ban on politicians, which inevitably means it's going to take away, they're saying it's their freedom of debate. It's going to inhibit debate, but it's already past the first round, so it's on to the second round, but politicians are spazzing over this, and it's like, so you just are openly intent to lie.
Well, I actually am going to push back on you a little bit with this one, Carl, because how do they define truth in a place like the UK, right? I mean, these are people oftentimes who will tell you that you're not being truthful if you say that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. So it was a normal society where I would say, yes, we can trust the UK. Maybe Wales 50 years ago. Great idea. Today, I'm not so sure I trust their judgment on what is and isn't the truth.
Yeah. Haley, what do you think?
I was going to agree with Avita. Same thing. Who becomes the arbiter of truth? This is why we could never trust our politicians here to be the arbiter of truth. The Biden administration tried to do that with their very own Ministry of Truth, the Misinformation Board. And we cannot trust them. We cannot trust them. The Biden administration or whatever Democrat comes in office next? Absolutely not.
Fair point. I just think it would be a great science experiment because it doesn't affect me here in America. It's just over there, which is fine with me.
We can watch them.
Yeah. Haley, Avita, we appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, coming up, the woman who told you to tax the rich, don't use gas stoves, and that the sea levels were going to rise and the world was ending, just bought a beachfront mansion. Mega Malibu mansion. Harris Hypocrisy next.
Everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmidt tonight on NewsMax.
balanceofnature.com and lock in 50% off for 1 year when you subscribe to the whole health system.
Talking to people today about their retirement accounts. Sir, excuse me. Yeah. Do you have a retirement account?
Yeah, I've got a TSP for my old government job.
How's that doing?
I'm forgetting about it.
I can't contribute to it. There are fees to get the funds, and the investment options are limited, so the money's just stuck. How about a gold IRA? I can do that.
Absolutely. You can roll it into a gold IRA and you have all the same tax advantages as a TSP, but with more flexibility. And you can put physical gold and silver in your retirement account.
I'm taking control with Noble Gold Investments.
Your retirement, your rules. Noble Gold.
Hi, I'm former Major League All-Star Lee Mazzilli. I'm proud to have played in New York for both the Mets and the Yankees. I'm also proud to be a longtime supporter of Tunnel to Towers Foundation. T2T helps our firefighters, our police, our soldiers, and their families. You can join their cause as well. Just $11 a month will help these brave men and women who keep us safe. Go to T2T.org for more information on how your donation can help.
A new year brings new threats, and Cyberman's ready for every one of them. While hackers plot their next move, Cyberman's already there, protecting families, businesses, and governments before danger can strike. This year, protect what matters most with easy-to-use award-winning protection. With Peegee9877, you get American-made protection that's faster, smarter, and stronger. Start 2026 with confidence. Visit Peegee9877.com today.
Don't kill your dog.
Oh, hey, Dr. Marty.
Hey, Beth.
But what's wrong with this? It's premium stuff.
Let's check it out. It's still kibble, which means it's ultra-processed at extremely high temperatures that destroy the nutrients in the food. But at Dr. Marty, we gently freeze-dried premium meats, fruit, and vegetables, locking in their nutrients.
Never kibbled.
You got it, kid, and they're gonna love it.
I never considered myself an alcoholic, but drinking affected my job, health, and relationships. A powerful medication helped me take back control. Now I no longer feel the urge to drink, and the same pill that helped me could help you. Text NewsMax to 710-710 to learn more.
It's not just your hearing. For us, it's your life. That's why we created the Miracle Ear Way, offering unlimited care, including risk-free trials and free servicing to keep you connected with your loved ones at all times. Call 1-800-503-7789.
Can't make it up. Kamala Harris is upgrading her LA real estate portfolio with a $8 million plus mega mansion in a celeb-packed Malibu neighborhood. It's weird. It's got walls around it and a gate. I thought walls didn't work, but it's called Point Doom is where I never heard of it. But after bankrupting the DNC, leaving them $20 million in debt, by the way, her and her husband, Doug Emhoff, white people that she claims to hate, reportedly dropped $8.15 million on a 4,000 square foot, 4-bedroom, 6-bathroom home. Now, the neighborhood rests on a 63-acre bluff right above California's most famous and exclusive beaches. And I just find this rich, coming from the woman who, first of all, couldn't shut up about being from a middle-class family and have to tax the ultra-wealthy. She tried to get rid of gas stoves and then was spotted posing with them in her home. Not once, but twice. And on top of that hypocrisy, she moved to a beachfront mega mansion, even though she thought, last campaign, that sea levels were going to rise. She said this back in 2019, that, quote, glaciers are melting, sea levels are rising, climate change is real, and we must act before it's too late. That's why I support the Green New Deal. Right, okay. This is why I love the internet. It's forever. Former chairman of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission under President Trump, Neil Chatterjee, and president of the Heartland Institute, James Taylor. Neil, I mean, I look at this stuff and I have never seen a development or one of these billion-dollar housing complexes going up on the beach that have written into their insurance policy rising sea levels. So how could that be true?
I mean, look, this is just another example of, the rules are for thee and not for me. At a time when the Democrat Party is going out of their way to try and make affordability an issue, you have their former standard bearer spending $8 million on a house at a time when people are fleeing California because of this wealth tax that is going to drive wealth out of California. I guess it maybe freed up some property for former Vice President Harris. Maybe she got a good deal because other people had to sell because they had to get out of California.
Yeah, I mean, she's never had a private sector job, to my knowledge, and yet $8 million seems really.
Well, she worked at McDonald's.
Yeah.
McDonald's was her private sector
Oh,
job.
that's right. I forgot about that one. She banked when she was there, or not there. All right, James. President Trump is also reportedly doing something huge here: emergency power auction, and this could force big tech to cover $15 billion in new electricity generation for like servers and Bitcoin mining and AI and stuff like this. And I'm thinking to myself, everybody accuses Trump of always enriching himself and his buddies. However, his son Eric just invested his own personal money into, I think, the biggest Bitcoin mining industry in the world. This would actually hurt his business.
Yeah, and Donald Trump should be doing even more to make big tech pay for their electricity demands on the grid. For many years, big tech has been running interference for the wind and solar industry. They've been forcing American consumers to pay prohibitively expensive prices for electricity. And when groups like my organization, the Heartland Institute, presented the facts, they would ban us and shadow ban us and censor us and drive down our ability to reach people. The fact of the matter is, wind power is 7 times more expensive than natural gas. Solar power is 10 times more expensive than natural gas. Right here, this study that Heartland's published, affordable, reliable, and clean. Go to this, affordable, reliable, clean. Look it up. That's where you see the documentation for that. Big tech should pay for what is imposed on the rest of the American public. In fact, they should pay at least 10 times the price that others do because that's what they've imposed on us.
Yeah, speaking of paying 10 times more, here's another thing that Trump was right about, Neil. Germany being reliant on Russian oil. Roll this. Look at this. This is hilarious.
Germany will become totally dependent on Russian energy if it does not immediately change course. Here in the Western Hemisphere, we are committed to maintaining our independence from the encroachment of expansionist foreign powers.
Look at Germany laughing about that. But guess who's laughing now? Because the German chancellor just acknowledged that Germany's decision to abandon nuclear was like the worst thing they've ever done, Neil.
Yeah, look, there were a series of energy policy decisions that Germany made over the years that made them uniquely vulnerable to Vladimir Putin, to be totally honest. It wasn't just shuttering their nuclear plants in the aftermath of a Fukushima disaster that took place in Japan, not even in Germany. They moved away from nuclear power. They moved away from coal-fired generation to sort of demonstrate their commitment to addressing climate change. They focused on, really onerous policies that for a while made electricity almost a luxury good in Germany, and ultimately found themselves in a place where they were totally dependent on Russian gas, Russian oil. And I honestly believe that part of the reason Vladimir Putin felt comfortable invading Ukraine was he knew that the political will in Germany and Western Europe writ large wouldn't be there, that they would eventually cave and need that gas.
Well, we got to leave it right there. Neil, James, we appreciate it. Have a great weekend, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Many of you watch our channel but don't know that we do have a popular magazine. It's NewsMax magazine. Well, this month we're featuring a cover story on Melania Trump. The media won't give you her achievements and the attention that they deserve. But here at NewsMax, we can give you these in-depth stories with the NewsMax magazine. The first month, we tell you the real story of the First Lady, her fight over the foster kids, disadvantaged kids, and even missing children in Ukraine that she's been doing a ton to help out. So we also detail the important and surprising role she's played in advising her husband on important issues. Close to 1 million people, believe it or not, read NewsMax magazine every single month. So check out your free offer with this report and NewsMax magazine and let us know what you think. Coming up, President Trump was gifted the Nobel Peace Prize from Venezuelan opposition leader Machado. The left cannot stand the rest of the world respecting him as much as they do. Those deeds next.
The poverty is unimaginable. There are people who are struggling.
This is where she washes the dishes.
If you're ever going to allow your Christian faith to rise and to do something for God's chosen people, it's the time.
This is the home of Galina. She's 96 years old.
This is what she had to eat for today.
She has one pot with water and wheat.
My father was killed by the Nazis, and I was an orphan. I didn't know about God. But now, in the cold, hungry nights, I pray for food to the God I've never known. There are good people that love you.
You'll see the tears. Scripture says joy can come in the morning, and you can be the reason.
If you will bless these hurting children of Israel, you will receive God's blessing in return. Your urgent gift today of $25 will help rush a survival food box filled with life-saving essentials. If you call right now, your gift's impact will be doubled to help save lives. Call, scan, or go online now.
I'm not exaggerating when I tell you, I don't know how much longer she could have waited for us to come.
I can't even grow my food anymore. What will happen to me? I'm doomed to starve.
Tens of thousands of elderly Holocaust survivors in the former Soviet Union are living in extreme poverty, hungry, and forgotten. But through the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, we can bring them hope.
It's my favorite food. May you be blessed.
You say to them, we see you and we're here to help.
If you call right now, your gift's impact will be doubled to help save lives.
Barrett hasn't taken a bite like that in years. Before getting his new teeth from Affordable Dentures and Implants, he could only watch with envy as his friends munched those salty little triangles. But now, that crispy bite he's been dreaming about, it's back. Crunch away, Barrett. You deserve it. Affordable Dentures and Implants. That's what we do.
This is the story of the one who doesn't just see a broken dime. He sees lost revenue, a late night, and work stalled to a halt. Thankfully, he has the experience to handle whatever comes his way and has Grainger on his side, offering access to technical product specialists and the scale to deliver fast, so he can keep his business in gear and always moving forward. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Stop buying generic Viagra if you're over 60. You qualify for 9 tablets of 100 milligram generic Viagra for just $7 with free shipping from Friday Plans. I thought it was a scam, but I tried it and I'm so glad I did. All you need to do is go to FridayPlansVIP.com and fill out a quick online form. It took me under 2 minutes, and their licensed doctor approved me for a free prescription the same day. They even included free 3-day discreet shipping right to my door. I tried my first tablet, and within 30 minutes, it was working as well as the name brand. My wife can't stop smiling, and I feel like I'm in my 20s again. Go to FridayPlansVIP.com and see for yourself. I still can't believe I got 9 tablets of 100 milligrams generic Viagra for just $7. It's the best $7 I've spent in years. Don't miss out on this deal. My only regret is waiting so long. Go to FridayPlansVIP.com now.
And why would you want someone else's Nobel Prize?
Well, she offered it to me. I thought it was very nice. She said, you know, you've ended 8 wars, and nobody deserves this prize more than in history than you do. And I thought it was a very nice gesture. And by the way, I think she's a very fine woman, and we'll be talking again.
Well, that was after meeting with Venezuela's opposition leader yesterday at the White House. Maria Machado gave her Nobel Peace Prize medal to President Trump because the actual Nobel people won't give it to him. The inscription read in part, "To President Donald J. Trump, in gratitude for your extraordinary leadership in promoting peace through strength, advancing diplomacy, and defending liberty and prosperity." Now, of course, according to the official Nobel Peace Prize statement, the prize cannot be revoked, shared, or transferred to others, but it's the thought that counts, and that's a pretty big gift. Trump's no stranger to these sort of gifts, though. Argentinian President Javier Milei gifted Trump a framed letter nominating him for the Nobel Peace Prize back in October. Back in December, he became the first winner of the FIFA Soccer Peace Prize, which I didn't even know was a thing. Also in December, Israel awarded him the Israel Prize for his tremendous contributions to Israel and the Jewish people. He's the first non-Israeli to ever receive that, and that's just a few of them. Let's not forget about the things that really mean something to me. All the veterans who've given their Purple Hearts, their silver and bronze stars to Trump, deeply respected on the world stage and especially by our troops. Left can't stand that. Jeffrey Lord, contributing editor at the American Spectator, and Matthew Foley, editor-in-chief at the Washington Examiner. You know, Reagan got a lot of gifts from people that were talked down by the left. Huh, Jeff?
Boy, he did. You know, and I'll tell you, when I went to the dedication, I've now been there several times, when I went to the dedication of the Reagan Library, it just was astounding, all of the gifts that people gave to him, from regular Americans who would send him, notes or things that they wanted him to have, all the way up to things like a sword from the king of Saudi Arabia. Yeah. It just was amazing, and it says something that somebody, a leader, has captured the hearts of people so that they want to give him a gift.
Yeah, no, but Matt, of course, Jimmy Kimmel had to insert himself into this Nobel Peace Prize news, and he used it to smugly show off some of his awards that I could care less about, but trying to make this about ICE. Roll this.
Trump loves awards. He giving him an award, it's the only way to get him to do anything. And with that said, Mr. President, I have an offer I think you're going to find difficult to refuse. If you, and only if, you agree to pull ICE out of Minneapolis and put them back at the borders where they belong, I am prepared to offer you one of the following trophies that I have been honored with over the years. I will personally deliver any or even all of these to the Oval Office in exchange for leaving the people of Minneapolis alone.
If you melt those down, Foldy, they're not worth their weight. I think that's true. And look, obviously, Jimmy Kimmel, partisan Democrat who hasn't been funny in perhaps my entire lifetime, they're more used to world leaders offering family members of presidents things like Burisma board seats than things like Nobel Peace Prizes that they actually have earned. And you look at Machado, for example, I mean, this is a woman who defeated Venezuela's illegitimate communist dictator in an election and still lived to tell the tale. She's got far more savvy than the people who run the Nobel Peace Prize Committee sitting in Europe, who are probably some of the most anti-American people in existence. It says something when FIFA is giving out made-up awards like the FIFA Peace Prize, I've never heard of that either, to Trump, when and they did that, by the way, because the Nobel Prize Committee will never give Trump the Nobel Peace Prize. Obviously, the guy deserves it far more than people like Obama, who received it for, last I recall, doing literally nothing. He didn't even know why he got it. But here's another one, Jeff, and this is crazy. Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney, this guy's the worst, but he said this recently about China.
Well, we're in a security section. I think we didn't have a chance to talk about anything internationally. I think the biggest security threat to Canada is China.
So, but then he goes and cuts this wild deal with them on automobiles, get the best trade deal ever. They're going to, drop tariffs and all this stuff.
Yeah, this is the thing, is that these people make a great deal out of various topics, but then when their bluff is called, they do something else, or they do the exact opposite. I think perhaps the best thing for the Prime Minister is to take a lot of these illegals we have in America and put them up in Canada. I think that would, if he wants to help out, that would be a good thing. And then get back to China.
Yeah, no. Matt, real quick to you. I'd like to throw in Jimmy Kimmel into that offer. They can take Jimmy Kimmel over.
Yes.
Yeah. But Matt, the other thing on this whole thing is everybody talked tough against China. Everybody hated China. And then all of a sudden Trump starts doing stuff against China, Matt, and all of a sudden Trump's bad for it? I don't get it. Well, this is exactly like what happened with Venezuela, where the Biden administration put a $25 million bounty on the head of Nicolas Maduro, which I guess they just didn't want it actually enforced. Trump, of course, upped that bounty to $50 million, and now he says he saved the American taxpayer $50 million because no one needs to receive that payment anymore because he took care of them for it. But you're totally right, Carl. I mean, you can talk tough against China. I mean, Biden campaigned against Trump for Trump being weak on Venezuela and not removing Maduro. Nicolas Maduro is currently one of the least radical people in the New York City prison system right now, thanks to President Trump. Well, we got to leave it right there on that note. Jeff, Matt, appreciate it.
You bet.
All right, before we go, the latest winners from weight loss drugs. Wait to hear this.
Total Beats, America's best-selling Beats brand, is available at Walmart. Total Beats blood pressure support soft chews contain a key ingredient clinically shown to deliver 2 times better blood pressure support. Take control of your health. Head to Walmart and get Total Beats blood pressure support soft chews today.
I'm a martial artist, a skydiver, a pilot, and all of them require your feet to work. Get up in the morning, and it felt like I was standing on marbles on my heel. When I went into the Good Feet store, the fitting was personalized. It was all about me. You put in the arch supports and your day becomes better and the sun shines, the unicorns run by, and it's a good life. I'm Randy, and that's my Good Feet story.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Your ED could be in your head, but for too long, outdated ED meds have been obsessed with your plumbing, giving no thought to the spark that starts in your brain way before anything even twitches. That's why we made Rougiette Ready, the first ED med that works on both brain and body, with sildenafil and tadalafil to help optimize your body's natural response, and apomorphine to complement that reaction in your brain. So don't just get a reaction, get ready.
Do you have a yo-yo smile? Sometimes yellow, sometimes white. It's a constant battle between everyday stains and whitening treatments. Until now, get Smile Actives, the daily teeth whitening breakthrough that gives you a more youthful smile and helps you keep it.
At 43 years old, I don't mess around with products that waste my time. Smile Actives is easy, and it works. No gloopy trays, no messy strips. Just add a little bit on top of your toothpaste when you brush your teeth. And ta-da! White teeth.
Just add Smile Actives to your favorite toothpaste and watch the magic happen. Our patented Polyclean microfoam lifts away deep stains for a dramatically younger and whiter smile.
You have a choice. You can have those yellow teeth and just be old Nana or Pop-Pop, or you can be smiling and dazzling and full of confidence. I love my white teeth.
Scan, click, or call for your whitest smile yet. And if you order right now, we'll double your whitening free. Get an extra Smile Actives as our free gift to you, but only while supplies last.
I drink coffee every day. I started noticing that my teeth were not as bright as I like them to be, a little dingy. The Smile Active, it works. Got your boy gleaming.
100% of users saw whiter teeth. Smile Actives lifts away even the toughest stains from coffee, wine, and food, gently restoring your bright, youthful smile. Plus, it's safe for veneers, crowns, and dentures.
It's really a no-brainer if you want to whiten your teeth.
Clinically shown to brighten your teeth 5 shades whiter in just 7 days.
If you could use something so easy like Smile Actives to take yellow teeth to white teeth, why wouldn't you?
Act now. Get Smile Actives for just $24.95 and we'll double your order free. But hurry, this deal won't last. Smile Actives is guaranteed to work. Whiten your teeth or get your money back. No questions asked. Don't wait. Get Smile Actives for just $24.95 and we'll send you a second bottle absolutely free. That's free shipping, a free extra bottle. That's an incredible 58% savings. Scan the code, go to smileactives.com or call to get your beautiful whiter smile now.
I'm an artist and I'm in my studio. I'm hearing the ads about Relief Factor and I've got pain in my neck and it's getting worse and I'm thinking, well, I'm going to go ahead and order this. 2 weeks later and I've got much better range of motion. I'm able to carry these big canvases around. I'm just very, very grateful that I gave the product a try.
If pain is affecting your life, give Relief Factor a try. Call or go online. Get your 3-week quick start for only $19.95. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
This crazy world where the left wants to tax every breath. Guess who's quietly cashing in on America's Ozempic fad? Okay, airlines. That's right. According to a new report, the increased popularity of all these weight loss drugs means that airlines are carrying slimmer passengers, which turns out that reduces their fuel costs. And we're not talking insignificantly. Up to $580 million a year it saves them in fuel costs. Lighter people, lighter planes, less fuel. Boom. You cut down the cellulite, Rob. You get people to, take a little bit. I don't think Ozempic is great. I think you should, just
I don't
stop
either.
eating crap. But, are we going to get any of that savings?
How fat were we that we're saving $600 million on gas for the plane?
50% of America is obese.
We're fat. What's it? Trump calls it the fat shot drug.
Yeah.
That's the fat shot drug.
Just go to the gym.
Amen to that.
Later on.
Good to see you, Carl. All right.